am so excited to be here today. This is the 5th year of something called the Michigan Collegiate Innovation Prize, and it's the 5th year, but it's been through many, many iterations. But before I talk about that, I want to talk a little bit about our sponsors. So this would not have happened today without the support of our generous sponsors. You can see we have Masco, the Masco Foundation, DTE Energy, Arboretum Ventures, Dow Corning, Google, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, Michigan I-Corps, and the Michigan Energy Institute. And most importantly, too, the Center for Entrepreneurship has put up their staff and a lot of resources. So thank everybody for our sponsors today. Also, we've had over 16 universities from around the state participate in this event. And it started with 3 when we very first started. So it's just been a testament to the power of venture creation that we've been able to gather students from around the state. And you can see who's up here. I think we're missing Oakland University as well. So thank you to all the universities, especially, wait, where's Michigan Tech? They went back. Okay, and Lake Superior State, raise their hand. They came all the way across the bridge. Thank you guys for coming down. That was awesome. Woohoo! So I just briefly want to go over the history of this great competition. So it started 5 years ago as a business plan competition just at Michigan, focused on clean energy. And it went well. The team that won is still in existence, Algal Scientific. But we only had 3 ventures come out of it. And that was, so the next year we did the same thing. We did a business plan competition, but we went statewide. But after 2 years of only having 3 ventures, we wondered, can we do this differently? Can we look at this just like a startup and pivot? How can we make this so we get more ventures coming out of this and going to the state? So we changed it to a venture creation program, and we went to Kalamazoo and Michigan State and as far and wide to do a training program. So teams entered. Nobody was eliminated. They entered, we trained them. Some people dropped out because they determined that they didn't actually have a venture, which is part of the process when you do a startup. And then at the end, we still had winners, but we also had all those teams able to be a venture as well because they went through the training. And we also gave every team prototype funding. And you'll see, and you probably saw some of those prototypes over before, and I think some people will bring them up on stage today, so you'll be able to see what they've been working on. Finally, in the last year, we pivoted yet again, and we expanded it out of just clean energy and went to all the different verticals, so web, healthcare, product, and advanced materials, so that we could allow all students from whatever sector they're in to enter the competition. And we also were able to implement something called the I-Corps, which is, have you heard of Peace Corps? Yes? So this is like Peace Corps, but for Innovation Corps. And it started out of the National Science Foundation, geared towards researchers at universities from around the country. And they were the only people who were allowed to go through this training. But because of this, Michigan was one of the first nodes to be able to teach I-Corps. We were able to put that training into this program. So these students had the opportunity to have these amazing teachers go through that. So it's really cool to think that the Center for Entrepreneurship took the business plan competition model, a business model, turned it upside down, and said, let's make a venture. Let's make 23 ventures. In fact, that's how many ventures are coming out today, which is exciting. So all the teams entered the competition. We had over 80 teams enter in September. And we interviewed all 80 of those teams, and we narrowed it down to 29 teams to be in the program. So for each of the team that got into the program, they had already overcome some barriers to come into the program. Then they went through this intensive training process where they spent their Halloween weekend in a hotel in East Lansing and worked on, did I say that badly? I love East Lansing, go I miss you, but I am from Michigan. So they spent their weekend learning how to start their venture, and then every other week they got on the phone and met with their teachers and their mentors in order to develop their companies over the last 2 to 3 months. So before I go further, I just want to take a moment. Can all the teams and all the mentors and all the teachers stand up, and can we give them a round of applause and thank them for their hard efforts, because it's been really quite a long time. Woohoo! All right, thanks you guys, good job. It really, if you think about entrepreneurship, It's not just about having the idea. We all know that everybody has an idea. It's about implementation. It's about tenaciousness. It's about sticking with it. And these teams have really put that forward over the last 4 months, and I'm really excited for each of you. Because today is not the end of this program, or it's the end of this program, but it's not the end of your venture, right? It's just the start. Today is the day where you reach out to your mentors that you've met, to the other teammates around you, to the Center for Entrepreneurship, to the resources in the state, and you continue to grow. Whether you get money today or not, if you really care about this is your venture, go for it, do it. Because if you look at some of the most successful companies, it's about tenacity. And you guys have already shown it by what you've done. So before we're going to bring each of these teams, there are 29 teams came in, 6 dropped out, which is what we expected, because they were going through their business model and going, oh, wait a minute, is this going to work? So we had 23 teams pitch yesterday and go through the semifinals. We were able to call that down to 8 teams. Those 8 teams pitched this morning, and we're going to announce the winners today for over $90,000 worth of prizes. But before we do that, I want to bring each of the teams up to do a 2-minute pitch. And just for everybody else who's not involved in the competition, the way that the prizes are organized is we had 4 categories. And for each of the categories, there's a $10,000 prize. And that was in energy, healthcare, product and services, and web IT. So there'll be prizes handed out for $10,000 for each of those. There's a best undergraduate prize for $20K, and then there's the best overall prize for $30. Okay, so let's have our first team come up, and you guys know who's first. Berry Logistics is up. Where are you? Come on up, and then the one after that is Black Pine, so you'll be on deck. So you have 2 minutes. And hold on.
That's my co-founder punching me in the gut. He hates me. All right. Hi, guys. My name is Jeff Zhang. I'm one of the co-founders of Berry Logistics. And the problem we're trying to solve is mishandling. And now, I know that isn't particularly appealing. Mishandling isn't a very sexy word, but I guarantee you it's necessary. The problem with mishandling is that it causes a lot of damages, all right? In the US, last year alone, in home appliances, there was $1.3 billion in damages as a result of mishandling. In fact, the average warehouse distribution center for FedEx and UPS spends upwards of 50 hours a day just processing mishandled items. And for you, the consumer, when you receive a mishandled item, you have to spend 10 minutes on the phone with a customer service rep, 20 minutes filling out a form, and half an hour outside in wind chill and slush that can only be described as February in Michigan. Now, our solution to all this? The Berry Tag. The Berry Tag is a low-cost impact sensor that simply and visually communicates information about a product shipping and handling information. Now, using a Berry Tag is simple. You take this tag, you stick it on the outside of a product's packaging before it ships, and if during the shipping and handling process it experiences any form of unwarranted impact, this tag will change from white to red, indicating mishandling, saving you that hassle and holding your courier service provider accountable. And you could do all of this for the price of just $1. And this might not be particularly salient for you right now if you're just buying textbooks and clothes online. I see some of you right now doing that. But a few years from now, when you move out into a new city and you start your new life, when you watch Fight Club for the last time and you really want that yin and yang table that you saw in that movie, you're going to want this, because this will get your furniture, your TV, all the things that are valuable to you faster, safer, and better. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Awesome. Next up is Black Pine from Michigan State.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to everyone who put on this event. I've been involved in a number of different events like this, and by far this has been the most valuable to all the ventures involved in this. So I'd just like to thank all the mentors, everybody who helped all the teams out. So, geothermal power plants are only getting 90% of the power output that they could. Geothermal power plants use the energy of hot steam deep in the earth to turn a turbine, which generates power. Geothermal power plant operating companies then sell this power to the grid to generate revenue. But there's a big problem. There's a certain process that these geothermal power plants have to do in order for the power plant to function properly. The problem is that process wastes 10% of the steam that they could be using to go through the turbine. They're losing $354,000 per year per well that they could be getting through some other means. So we've developed a mechanical pump which recovers that lost revenue and that lost steam. So that results in an increased revenue for the geothermal plant of $284,000 per year. That's very significant, and geothermal power plant operators are actively seeking that sort of product. The product pays itself off in 3 years, and we have a total addressable market for our pump of $1.1 billion per year. We have a target market of the United States geothermal operators of $129 million, globally $429 million. Our system is currently in testing and validation at a real geothermal power plant. We have our first partner who's willing to work with us and help develop the technology. We're seeking $3 million to cover the market entry expenses associated with building 3 early adopter prototypes. So, again, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Here, I'll take that. Next up, we have DragAroundMe, come on up. Here you go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. We are DragAroundMe, the simplest way to share digital content with the people around you. So how many of you are still using the traditional USB drives to share digital content? Email attachments slowing you down? Well, we have the solution. DragAroundMe allows you to not register, no installation, and no configuration. It's a simple, easy drag and drop to share. And the best part, you can share information without registering or your personal information, and it's compatible with all browsers, operating systems, and devices. So for instance, if I wanted to share a file with all of you guys in the room right now, under 10 seconds, is that possible? Yes, with DragAroundMe. And this isn't possible with other solutions on the market, such as Dropbox, Google Drive, or even traditional email. All the users have to do is go on the site, type in your name, and your icon will appear. Then I can do a simple drag and drop and send it to a large number of people with this location-based feature. And what DragAroundMe allows you to do is you can share a file without having to get everyone's contact information in the room. And we do have a live prototype working online right now, so we invite all of you to start DragAroundMe by visiting DragAroundMe today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Fruition. There you go.
Hi, everyone. My name's Casey, and I'm from Team Fruition with Grand Valley State University. We are a medical device company that makes sit-to-stand devices for intensive care units and long-term critical care centers. Our name is Fruition. It's a combination of the words fluidity, motion, and innovation, which we strive to incorporate in all of our devices. In case you're unfamiliar, a sit-to-stand device is usually used in the intensive care unit or long-term care centers to take very fragile, weak patients from sitting on the side of a hospital bed to the standing position. This is extremely important in their recovery because it decreases their time recovering and decreases the length of stay in the hospital, which saves the patients, their insurance companies, and the hospital's money. The problem with the current devices that do this is that they pose risks of injury to the staff and the patients. In 2012, over $20 billion was spent on back injuries to healthcare workers from lifting patients. Also, these current devices pose risk of injury to the patients themselves because they lift the patients not in the proper standing motion. These devices also don't have any way to track patient feedback objectively. Our device provides a unique solution with an easy loading seat that doesn't require the physical therapist, nurse, or doctor in the intensive care unit to lift the patient at all. You can simply load them from the side of a hospital bed. Also, our device reduces the risk of injury to the patients themselves because it promotes the proper standing form and lifts them through their pelvis. And in addition, our device can provide feedback to track patient recovery so that they can get out of the ICU sooner and get an objective answer to their questions. I invite you, if you have any more questions, to contact our team after this pitch, and we can easily answer your questions right there. Thank you, everyone, for letting us be a finalist in this competition.
Thanks so much. Next up, we have Genomicsa. Did I say that right? Like phenomenon.
So hello everyone, I'm Mark. I'm with Genomicsa. This is Kojo and Megan coming up here.
Sorry.
So our mission is to simplify DNA sequence analysis. So we're molecular diagnosticians, cancer geneticists, and laboratory directors with domain expertise in clinical and research genome sequencing, which is a fancy way to say that we run labs that sequence DNA for a living. So your genome and my genome consists of 3 billion letters of DNA, and changes to even a single one of those letters can mean the difference between being healthy and having a disease like cancer. It's a molecular diagnostician's job to make sense of all that sequencing information, but as you can imagine, that process of interpretation is highly complex, is extremely cumbersome, and sometimes takes days to weeks to complete, none of which is acceptable in clinical settings. And the reason we know that is because to date, we've sequenced over 400 genomes. And while we were analyzing that data, we were frustrated with the inadequacies of commercially available products, so instead we developed our own. A suite of software tools that automates the process of identifying clinically meaningful information from complex genetic data sets. So we're here at the MCIP because we feel that this software has strong commercial potential and also has the potential to revolutionize the practice of medicine. So I'd just like to thank the MCIP for this great program and to thank all of the input that we've gotten from our mentor and other mentors throughout our conversations these past months. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Mark. Next up, we have IceUture from U of M.
Sadly, I don't have a Fight Club reference, so I'll do what I can. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're IceUture, and we have developed a surgical simulator that helps train surgeons at laparotomy closures. So what's a laparotomy? When a surgeon wants to access your abdominal cavity, they actually make a midline incision down your abdomen and then go inside. When they're closing you up, the first thing they do is suture the fascia, which is the inner layer that holds your organs in, and then staple your skin. Now this fascia, when they don't close it properly or don't use the sutures properly, it can lead to hernias, which are basically your internal organs pushing through that membrane. On average, 4 million of these are done yearly, and of which 10% result in hernias because of bad technique. And we are trying to solve this problem. So there is a gold standard that surgeons can train to for these sutures, but the only way they're trained these days is through subjective training in the OR where they get feedback from the surgeon. And this means they can't actually longitudinally track this, and they don't actually get any feedback that they can take in with them the next time. Our surgical simulator allows for objective training where the data that they get from it can be stored and then looked at later times. It is basically a box simulator with tension load cells that help them make sure the tension is adequate, and an iPhone visualization app will take a photo of their suture and immediately give them back the feedback. Now, with national mandatory curriculum moving the direction it is, basically they're trying to force surgeons to ensure that they have the fundamentals of surgery down before they go into the operating room. And our simulator will be the first in line to ensure that surgeons can train or retrain if they're already practicing surgeons to ensure that they meet these guidelines. So please help us. We're trying to get investments to help us develop this into a full product that can help save lives and help make the lives of patients better. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Next up, we have SafeSense. Come on up. SafeSense is from Western Michigan. Whoa. Oh, goodness, are you okay?
Jesus, my head. Oh, man.
Can we get IceUture here?
Okay, my head. All right. I'll get that checked out later if I can remember. Or not. I don't know. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Joyce. I'm one of the founders of Team SafeSense, and I'm here to talk to you about head injuries. All right? Head injuries occur every day in football, right? But the problem is that we don't have an objective measurement tool for these injuries. All right? Team SafeSense has brought to this competition and is going to bring to the market a new competitive, game-changing technology. This technology is a game changer because it allows for objective measurement, reliable, accurate measurement of head injuries. Everybody needs to have these these types of tools because, things like these happen all the time, especially on the football field, right? And when I'm on the football field, I'm not coming out. I don't care how hard I'm hurt. That kind of hurt, but, I'm still going. All right. But still, dust myself off a little bit, okay. All right. So, our team is brought to this competition, this new sensor. Our sensor is reliable, accurate, flexible, and is much cheaper than any of our competitors' products. We have accurately and reliably tested this product to know that it can bring this information to monitor these head impacts and help diagnose for head injuries. If you're a parent or have somebody, a loved one, maybe you played football yourself, you might understand the impact of these head injuries. But the problem is that you don't want to stop playing. Can't remember what I'm saying anymore. It's odd. Okay, but anyways, here at SafeSense, what we really want to do is we want to stop these things from happening, and we want to bring everybody a more safe sense of mind. Thank you.
You almost gave me a heart attack.
I'm
so
sorry.
Can you get a sensor for heart like palpitations? Just kidding.
I'm
I'm just kidding. I know.
just trying to-
It was awesome. Don't fall as you go down. Okay, good. The next up is Swaddle Me Billy. Yes, come on up. They're from Michigan State University. Are you going to bring your prototype? It's so cute. You don't have to. It's just cute. Okay.
Got to watch myself a little slippery up here. But my name is Oliver, and I'm a part of Swaddle Me Billy. So at Swaddle Me Billy, we have developed a solution that is a low-cost, wearable, and portable treatment for infant jaundice. So a little bit on jaundice. Jaundice is a disease that affects about 60% of babies born in the U.S. each year. It causes a yellow discoloration of the skin. So proper treatment of jaundice is very critical because it can actually cause forms of mental retardation and even death if not cured properly. So there are many treatments out there right now that do this, but the main problem with that is none of them are wearable, which causes a very stressful experience for both the mom and the baby. So there really is a need for a new technology which allows the mother to interact with the baby, as well as breastfeed, which has been proven to be very important in the early days of life. So here at Swaddle Me Billy, we have developed a solution which promotes this bonding as well as still effectively cures jaundice. So we combine the traditional means to cure jaundice into a wearable swaddle so the mother can easily hold the baby and interact while the baby is still being treated. So our business strategy is we're going to market directly to the nurse managers in the hospital who actually make these purchasing decisions. What we did about that is we went out, we talked to over 80 nurses, doctors, and mothers from both Hurley Hospital in Flint and Sparrow in Lansing to reinforce that this is a valid process. We've really received nothing but overwhelmingly positive feedback about this, and everyone is really excited to get this in the hospitals and provide that much better experience for everyone involved. We're very excited about our product here and the future of our company. I would just like to thank everyone involved in the competition for this opportunity. It really has been a great thing. Thank you all.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. So now I would like to start the award-giving portion of this section. So I'd like to bring up Meredith Vancouverine. Meredith and Norm, can you stand up and just raise your hand? Meredith and Norm have really run this competition, so I'd like to also give those guys a round of applause for all their help. I'd also like to bring up our teaching team, Doug Neal, Paul Jacques, and John William Ferris. Sorry, come on up. Come up. These guys have spent hours upon hours on the phone and with our teams helping them grow their ventures. So they're going to help us hand out the checks. So come on over. So the prize for the category Web IT, the winner is DragAroundMe. Come on up. And we're going to get your picture with the teachers. Yeah, go ahead. You can get in it, Meredith. All right, thanks, guys. Congratulations. The next category prize is for products, and the winner of that category is Barry Logistics. Come on up, Barry. These checks are not actually cashable, but we will make sure. Sweet. Thanks. The next category is the Michigan Energy Institute Energy Prize, and that winner is Black Pine from Michigan State. This prize is also special because the winners of this category, which is Black Pine, will get to go to the Regional Energy Prize competition in Chicago, and if they win that, they can go to Washington, D.C. to compete nationally for a prize with the National Prize of Clean Energy. Yeah. Did you not know that? Woohoo! Woohoo! The next category is the Arboretum Ventures Healthcare. And the winner of that one is Genomicsa. Come on up, guys. You gonna come up? So, finally. So the last two prizes, the best undergraduate prize is a new category, but because we were having we had so many PhD and researchers also competing, we wanted to make sure that we gave an opportunity for the undergraduates who are working out of their dorms, and maybe not necessarily in the labs, but maybe they are, to have an opportunity to also win a prize. So the winner of the, and it's the Masco Corporation sponsored this one, the Masco Corporation undergraduate prize goes to Fruition. Come on up. Fruition, again, is from Grand Valley State University. Yay! This team is definitely going to move forward with their idea. They have a lot of excitement. Yo. Awesome. Woohoo! And finally, the winner of the best overall team in the competition goes to Genomicsa from the University of Michigan. Come on up. Congratulations. Congrats. Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, judges and teachers. So with that, that concludes our Michigan Collegiate Innovation Prize for 2014. But before we go, I want to say how honored and excited we are for each of the ventures that competed, and that we hope that you stay in touch with us, and we'll stay in touch with you to make sure that we continue to help you grow your ventures over the next years. Thanks again, and congratulations.